It's crazy how quickly life can change. A year ago, I was jobless. I had gotten fired back in February. The boss and I had gone back and forth too many times, and they just wanted to get rid of me. So I had burned through my savings and my 401k, what little I had of it. Then, near the end of summer last year, I got a job as a school bus driver. It paid pretty well. Wasn't the best job, had a lot of screaming kids and a lot of small children screaming 6, 7 on endless loop for the entire hour-long bus ride I would have them for. But all in all, it was pretty good. Wasn't bad, wasn't great, but it was good. Then in April, well, late March, right before spring break, I collapsed at work. I thought it was an asthma attack and said it as such. Then we left for spring break. I come back. Boss pulls me aside and says, "Hey, I had looked over the security footage again from the bus, and I have a kid with asthma, and I have family who have had seizures. It didn't look like you had an asthma attack. It looked like you just had a seizure on the spot. Though looking through the footage, I also saw you building up to it, looking like you were going in and out of it as you were driving. So unfortunately, it does look like you had a seizure." I appreciated his words. He knew what he was talking about. I had put in a request over the online to see the doctor that day. I get a phone call maybe an hour later from a nurse, and they say, "Hey, we're not even gonna wait. I will find somebody for you to look at you. I don't care who it is. I'm gonna find a doctor for you tomorrow." And they did. I did my morning shift. They had put me on standby, so I basically just sat in a chair for 3 hours. Then I went to the doctor's office. They tested. Uh, they didn't have all the equipment necessary for a full scale test, but they did say they didn't want me driving for 6 months. Soon as that was relayed to my boss, they're like, "Nope, that's a liability. So until you're cleared, we can't have you driving." So I was put on medical leave, which is fine. I had some money saved up. Then, financially, I've been struggling now because the insurance company has taken their sweet time to get my short term disability payments. Sky is blue, so pointing at the obvious. I, I've just been kind of sitting, waiting for my neurology test on the 15th of May. I've been trying to keep it together. They took me off my meds, which were what was keeping me from, well, fucking losing it. So that's been fun to deal with too. I'm doing my best, but yeah. It's funny. A year ago, I was jobless and had no clue what I was going to do for a job. So I just threw shit at a wall and waited to see what stuck. Now, a year later, I'm, well, basically out of a job again, waiting for a test that may or may not clear me and give me a chance to work again. If not, I'll have to find another job again. It's just really interesting how much life changes from one day to another. I remember my last video, I had talked about wanting to do all these projects, wanting to do all these crazy things. But life changes when you get older. when you get older, you start to get a different perspective on things. Like, it's, despite my birthday being back at the beginning of April, it's just starting to hit. I'm 31 years old. I've, yeah, sure, I've done some things. I've, well, for lack of a better word, I've created one TF2 mod that caught some controversy, I guess, for being horny or something. I don't fucking know. Then besides that, I can't really think of too many other things I've done. I do some things here and there. I try to help people, but looking at my life as a whole, so much has changed. If I were to go back and tell myself 10 years ago that I would be living in an apartment on medical leave while having a job as a school bus driver, I don't think I would have believed it. The life I live now is different than the life I thought I would have. To be honest, I didn't know what kind of life I would have. With how depressed I was 10 years ago, I didn't think I was going to make it to fucking 20, let alone 31. So here I am, living a life I didn't think I would live after I was getting a better hold or a handle on my depression. So now I'm just at this point where I thought I was going to end my life, but I didn't. And now I don't know what to do from here. I'm not really sure how to communicate these feelings in a way that doesn't feel off. Like, I want to stress it out now that, like, I'm not suicidal now. I'm on my meds. I got a support system. I got all that good stuff that keeps me from crossing that line. And I have no intentions of crossing that line anytime soon. It's just, I've never been good at expressing my feelings. My life changes so much over the years, but the one thing that hasn't changed is I'm just too stubborn to move forward in certain aspects of my life. Despite the age of the game, I still play Team Fortress 2. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using that as background footage for this video because I got nothing else. It's not because I hate the game or anything, but it's just like I don't like playing the game because it's a reminder that I haven't really moved forward with anything. I'm still here. I don't want to say stuck. It's just I struggle to move forward in life because I've had so much change in my life. I always have these moments where I realize I moved houses so many times. I've I've never held down a job for a long period of time until the job I had lost over a year ago. That job I had for 9 years. God, so long. I had been in retail for 10 years and then I moved to being a bus driver, and I've never really been good with expressing anything, to be honest. Some people always accuse me of being apathetic. I think that's the word. Just not really feeling much of anything. I've been good at faking emotions, feeling like some things are the right thing to say. Hell, sometimes I feel like I'm not really hanging out with people, but observing them. Sometimes I feel like I'm an alien surrounded by people I don't know or understand. This is probably the most honest I've been in a long time. Maybe that's why I keep thinking about making YouTube videos. At a critical point in my life, this was a space where I felt like I could express myself in a meaningful manner. That's probably the best way to put it. That's probably the most human way to put it, if I'm being honest. I don't want to apologize for taking so long to make another video. Mostly just because the whole apology thing for not making videos just feels disingenuous. Because taking the time to realize the kind of person I am is a slow journey. I don't see myself really enjoying life the way I should be. I sit inside my room all day because it's the one space where I feel like everything makes sense. It's not good, it's not healthy, but it's honest. So, I don't want anyone to feel like they owe me anything. I don't really expect this video to do anything. I think from this point forward, I need to start treating my life as less of something to observe and something to live. I don't know what that means yet, but I do hope that I can figure something out. I don't know what it's going to be, but it'll be something. But I'm certain the journey will be something to observe. I'm hoping it'll be something to enjoy as well. I have no intentions of going anywhere. Like I said, I'm too stubborn for stuff like that. But I do hope that at some point in the future I can find the direction I want to go. Until then, well, here we are. So, I'll save you the cheesy outro I always used to do. And I thank you all for listening. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.